Hello, crafty friends. This is Anya General with Ink, Paper, Scissors. In today's video, we will be creating cards with embossing folders. But before we dive into the techniques, I want to share a few exciting things from Altenew's November release, especially their brand new ink pads. They released 3 gorgeous new color families, each in sets of 4. 1 set of greens, 1 set of browns, and 1 set of purples. I'll be swatching all of these for you so you can see exactly how they look once they're stamped and completely dry. Seeing swatches always helps me when I'm deciding whether a color is something I truly want to add to my collection, so hopefully this will help you as well. I also picked up some glitter cardstock from Altenew because good glitter cardstock that die cuts cleanly can be surprisingly hard to find. I tested these in my art journal using alphabet dies, and they cut beautifully. Maybe in my next video I'll focus on glitter cardstock specifically so you can really see it in action. I also grabbed some dark navy cardstock since I was running low on my previous favorite, and I absolutely love this one. Altenew's cardstock is 88 pounds, which is such a nice weight for die cutting, sturdy but not too thick. And the best part is that it comes in so many colors. Today, I'll also be sharing 4 different cards that I created using embossing folders, each one showcasing a different technique. As you may have seen in some of my previous videos, embossing folders are a fantastic way to create beautiful and incredibly fast cards. They give you so much impact for so little effort, which is why I love using them. As always, I'll have a full list of all the products I used linked down below and also over on my blog, where you can find close-up photos and all the details for each card. If you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming tutorials. And if you'd like to share your creations or connect with other card makers, make sure to join my crafty community group on Facebook. I would absolutely love to have you there. Alright, let's jump right in and get started. And before I forget, make sure you stay with me until the very end. I have a special offer from Altenew and a little giveaway surprise that I think you'll love. I'm starting out with the Dancing Cosmos stencil and embossing folder. I run my 80-pound Nina Classic Crest Solar White cardstock through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine with the embossing folder. One thing I really appreciate about using the Spellbinders Universal Plate system is that it completely removes the guesswork when it comes to building the correct sandwich. Spellbinders even has a chart on their website that tells you exactly which sandwich to use for different brands of embossing folders. It's such a simple solution, but it makes a huge difference. No more trial and error or worrying about damaging a folder. Next, I place my embossed panel onto my Altenew sticky mat and align the first layer of the stencil directly over the raised design. I start ink blending Glacier Iris over the first layer, taking my time to make sure the base layer is smooth and even. Once I'm happy with the coverage, I bring in Dreamy Periwinkle along with a detail ink blending brush. Using a gentle flicking motion, I add soft highlights toward the center of the Cosmos flower. This technique instantly adds dimension, and you'll see just how beautiful that effect becomes in just a moment. Then I move on to the second layering stencil. Again, I use Glacier Iris for the petals, keeping that consistent base tone, and then I add Dreamy Periwinkle toward the center with my detail brush. And because I like the centers of my flowers to be a bit more dramatic and really draw the eye in, I add a touch of Twilight Sky right in the deepest parts. I apply it with the same flicking motion, but I keep the strokes shorter this time so it doesn't extend as far as the Dreamy Periwinkle. I absolutely love how this is starting to look. The layers, the blending, and the embossed texture all working together to create such a stunning, dimensional floral. Next, I move on to the third layering stencil, which has two parts, the outer petals of the cosmos and the greenery. I start by aligning the petal portion of the stencil with the embossed design, and just like before, I'm using Glacier Iris as my main color and Dreamy Periwinkle with my detail blending brush to deepen those shadows. Keeping the colors consistent across the layers really helps build dimension without losing the softness of the flower. Once the petals are done, I shift the stencil to line up the leaves with the raised areas of my cardstock. For the base layer of the leaves, I blend on bamboo. It's a beautiful light green that lays down the perfect foundation. Then, with my detail blending brush, I bring in olive and concentrate that shading toward the base of each leaf. That little bit of extra depth makes a huge difference when you see the final result. And now I'm ready for the fourth and final stencil in this set, which adds the center of the flower. For this layer, I'm using Golden Honeycomb, and oh my goodness, this color just completes the whole look. It adds the perfect warm contrast to all of those cool purples and greens. I absolutely love this color combination, and this entire Dancing Cosmos set. It's such a beautifully designed collection, and the finished effect is stunning every single time. Next, I attach my finished panel onto an A2 card base using my art glitter glue, making sure everything is lined up cleanly. Then I bring in a simple sentiment to keep the focus on that beautifully embossed and stenciled cosmos. But before I call this card done, I have to share my favorite part of the entire November release, the absolutely adorable Bubbly Bumblebee. I pull out the small die set along with some vellum, black cardstock, and yellow cardstock, and I go ahead and cut all the pieces several times so I have a few bees ready to go. Assembly is super quick and easy. I use my art glitter glue to layer the pieces together, and the moment that little bee comes to life, it just makes me smile. The vellum wings add the prettiest touch, and the contrast against the purples in the flower is just perfect. I decide to perch the bee right on one of the petals. It's such a small detail, but it adds so much charm to the finished card. And just like that, this card is complete. For my second card, I'm working with the Honeycomb Haven embossing folder, which is part of the Craft Your Life project kit. Honeycomb Haven, just recently released, this kit is truly packed with beautiful coordinating products. You get a large 6x8 stamp set featuring a honey jar and several sentiments, a layering stencil set of greenery, florals, and the cutest bees, a matching die set that cuts out all the layered stencil designs, and of course this honeycomb embossing folder, which has quickly become my favorite piece in the kit. If you prefer, you can also purchase the die set for the 6x8 stamp set separately. I'll be showing a few bonus cards at the end where I highlight these products a little more. I completed the stenciling off screen and already die cut all of my bees and greenery pieces, so everything is ready to go for this card. To begin, I take the embossing folder and apply the color Honey Drizzle directly onto the bottom side of the folder. I rub the ink evenly across the surface. Then give it 2 to 3 light spritzes of water. This helps the ink blend beautifully into the recessed areas. Once it's embossed, I place my cardstock onto the inked side, close the embossing folder, and run it through my Spellbinders Platinum 6. Once it's embossed, I trim the panel down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches to give myself a nice border on the finished card. Next, I add Altenew foam tape to the back of the panel and adhere it to my A2 card base. With the background in place, I arrange 3 little bees across the panel and then add my sentiment right alongside them. Once everything is glued down, this sweet honeycomb card is complete. Here is a picture of the finished card. For my third card, I stamped the honeycomb jar off-screen. The stamp set includes the outline of the jar as well as the color layers that you need to align, so it's definitely the type of stamp that works best in a MISTI or any stamping tool where you can double-check your placement before committing. Once my images were stamped, I set them aside. Then I cut down a piece of dark blue cardstock to 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. I place it inside the piped floral lace 3D embossing folder and run it through my Spellbinder's Platinum 6 die cutting machine. This folder has so much beautiful detail, and I love how deeply it embosses. Next, I bring in my cloud white ink pad and gently rub the white pigment ink over the raised areas. I'm using a very light hand here, just skimming the surface, so the white catches only the tops of the embossed flowers. I love the soft, chalky effect this creates. It really brings out all that texture. Then I add Altenew foam adhesive to the back of my embossed panel to give it some dimension and adhere it to my A2 card base. After that, I begin arranging my honey jar and honey spoon images on the front of the card until I'm happy with the placement. I add my sentiment, press everything into place, and that completes this card. For my fourth and final card today, I'm using the Sweet Spray embossing folder. This embossing folder actually has coordinating products, a stamp, a stencil set, and a die set. I'm not using those today, but I wanted to mention them because having all of those options really opens up a world of possibilities with this design. For this card, I'm also bringing in the Dark Night cardstock from Altenew. I cut it down to 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. Then I place it into the embossing folder so that one cluster of florals sits toward the bottom corner of the card, and the other cluster sits toward the opposite corner. I run it through my die cutting machine, and the results are beautiful. This folder gives such bold, dimensional impressions. Next, I take my cloud white ink pad again and lightly rub it over the florals. Because the floral images on this embossing folder are spaced a little farther apart, it's really easy to accidentally get ink on the flat areas of the cardstock, so I'm using a very gentle touch here. Once I have that initial soft hint of white on the raised areas, I switch to a small detail ink blending brush to deepen the highlights. I dip the brush into the ink pad, tap it off on my glass mat, and then use a flicking motion over the raised florals and leaves. I repeat this process until I'm happy with the level of contrast and how the highlights look across the design. Next, I grab a sentiment from my stash. This one is from the One Go Solid Sentiment Strips press plate. I add black foam adhesive behind the sentiment for dimension and adhere it to the front of my card. Finally, I attach the entire panel to my A2 card base, and that completes my fourth card for today. I have 2 variations of this card that I will also share at the end, so you can decide which one you like most. And that wraps up today's video. Before I let you go, I have some really exciting news to share. Altenew has generously given me a special code for you to use between November 20th and November 27th. If you place an order during that time, you can receive a free gift. All you have to do is use the link in the video description or apply the code ANYAFREE at checkout. Just add the perfect picker to your cart, enter the code ANYAFREE, and it will be completely free. It's such a fun little tool, and I'm so thrilled they offered this for my community. I also want to share that I'll be hosting a giveaway over on my Instagram for a $20 Altenew gift card. To enter, just look for the post that features one of the cards I created in today's video and leave a comment on that post. Then follow me and Altenew on Instagram, and that is it. You're entered to win. If you enjoyed today's techniques and the cards I shared, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I post new technique videos every week, and subscribing really helps my channel continue to grow. As always, everything I used today is linked down below and also over on my blog, where you can find close-up photos and all the details for each card. If you shop through my affiliate links, I want to thank you so much. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it truly helps support my channel and allows me to keep creating free tutorials for you. And there you have it, 4 cards made very quickly using embossing folders. Before we wrap up, here are a few more bonus cards I created off screen, also featuring embossing folders along with pieces from the Altenew November release. Before you head out, I'd love to know, which of the 4 embossing folder techniques was your favorite today? Let me know in the comments. I always enjoy hearing what inspires you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Until next time, happy crafting!